Welcome to the D Asset Management second quarter video of 2020. We want to thank all of our loyal subscribers, investors, viewers, stakeholders that have been with us now for more than 10 years. So our company, for everyone who is new to our channel, DE Asset Management have been around since 2010. So in 2010, when it first started, it was Darrell Emanuel Asset Management. It was a sole proprietorship. So it has now changed. So we haven't seen a video from us since 2019 because we have had some changes. We had to make some changes because of market conditions. So we're going to go deeper into that in a while. But let's just go back for all who are new to understand what we have been doing, and then we get into what we're looking to do for the future. So we have some very exciting things that we are doing for the future, right? So first, we have to acknowledge the fact that we are now in quarantine. So we are in Vancouver, Canada. Our company, DE Asset Management, is a venture capital company located in Vancouver, Canada. So right now in Canada as a whole, we have restrictions on on travel. So basically, right now, it's only essential personnel of each company that is working. So we can't actually go into offices and so forth. So most of my work is being done from home. Okay, so I just go back now onto who DE Asset Management have been. So since 2017, we created, we started in the blockchain space. And in 2018, we launched 2 funds. And the purpose of those funds were to create the support needed for companies in the blockchain space. So they were successful in what they intended to do. Those funds, they raised $54 million for 22 ICO companies. And so we did that from 2017. They were launched in 2018, but we started in that blockchain space in 2017, and really in 2018 we launched the funds, and really in 2018 it was the height of the whole ICO explosion, right? Everyone was invested in ICOs, so we created those funds as a channel to help investors who wanted to partake in that market at the time, and we had some success. But what we have seen lately, in the end of 2019, is that the money flows are not flowing into ICOs anymore, but we are seeing the money flows are more into the cryptocurrencies themselves. Okay, so we feel we feel pretty bad for the ICOs because, as we said, we partnered with 22 ICOs. We had very good partnerships, very good connections with these companies, and it's pretty hard what happened in that industry. So we had as a company had to decide going forward what we will do to help our investors and so forth. So in our discussions, this is basically what we came up with. So as we said, cryptocurrencies themselves are still generating capital and creating capital flows. For example, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is trading at $6,812.56 for one Bitcoin right now, and that's in US dollars, right? And the market capitalization of Bitcoin is right now is at $124 billion US, right? So Bitcoin itself is doing good. And I think based on our research, so if you could go back to all our videos, right? And we were talking about the research that we were doing. And we did extensive research of Bitcoin itself. You would know that we really strongly believe that Bitcoin is going to be an asset later on into the future. Okay. So would it be a currency like a fiat currency? I'm not sure. We don't know, right? Like honestly, no one really knows at this point. But would it continue being an asset into the future? Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, because we have seen the falls, like it have fallen to great amounts and back up to 9,000, right? And we have actually, if you look into some of our videos, you'd see we did the research on exactly when we are seeing these movements. So based on that, we will still be involved in Bitcoin itself. Okay, and we're gonna explain how as we go on, right? But we would still be involved in Bitcoin because it is going to be a good investment long term. So our restructure for 2020 will be we would not be investing in ICOs themselves, but we will focus on developing three companies, three startups, right? So these startups will be in one will be in the blockchain itself still. We're going to go into exactly how, right? More cryptocurrencies. We'd have a second one that would be in commodities, especially precious markets. And the third one will be, it's more like a technology type company, right? It has to do with lead generation, okay? So we're going to go a bit into these companies right now. I think our second video, which is going to be third quarter, we will delve deeper into it as to exactly what's going on. We might have another video before the third quarter, might, right? Based on the growth of the companies, because I think a lot would be predicated on what's happening with the quarantine, how much work could be done during quarantine, right? So if we could still develop these companies during quarantine, we will then start forwarding more information on the development and so forth, right? So let's get into it here. So if we look at the first company that we'd be looking to get into that is still in the blockchain space, this company is called DE BitTrade. So this platform is already operational. You could go in and have a look at this. It's DEBITTRADE.io, right? I'll try to have it up on the video here, right? So it's going to be DEBitTrade.io. So this company, this platform will be for people who want to invest in Bitcoin. Right now, you can invest in Bitcoin and Litecoin. Okay, so what I've had is a number of people coming to me and saying, "Hey, you're in that blockchain space, right? You're doing that Bitcoin, right? If I wanted to get involved in Bitcoin, how do I do it?" Right? And these are people who don't have wallets. They don't want to really know about how to create a wallet and everything like that. All they want to do is to generate a return based on the good movement of Bitcoin. So this is why this company was created, to help these investors. So they want to just invest in Bitcoin, collect a return. They don't necessarily want to have a wallet, right? They don't want to go into an exchange and figure out how to buy it at this, and how to then put it in their wallet and all that. They don't want to be involved in that, right? They want to get the Bitcoin, be able to see the Bitcoin assets that they have, that they purchased, and when Bitcoin is up, see how much they're making when it's up, and then be able to sell it when they're ready to sell it. So um, basically making it a convenient investment, right? So Bitcoin, as it continues to go on, right, we have to play a part, which is venture capitalists and other investors out there have to play a part in making it accessible to investors, right? Just as accessible as a stock, as a mutual fund, right? So that's the part we would like to pay at DE Asset Management, which is, you come into us, you would like Bitcoin, you tell us how much you'd like to buy, and you'd see it all on the website. You could start, you set up your account, you get Bitcoin, we hold it for you. We will show you your in your wallet how much you have in there, and you could make monthly contributions to it. Um, we could sit and have if you would like to talk about a investment plan, right? And we'd really like to sit and talk about having it as an asset long term. We could have that discussion. But if you also just want to put some money in to just test the waters, for example, I want to just put 2000, 2005, 3 grand, because our account starts at $500 Canadian, right? So you put that money in there and just watch it grow, right? So that is also possible. Okay, so that is what the company DE BitTrade was made for. It's also made for companies that accepting payments of their goods in Bitcoin and would now like to cash out and get their money and not have to go into exchange or anything like that on an every month basis to get their money. They just would like to get their money, right? They come over to us, they give us the Bitcoin, we cash it, we get their money at the going rate, right? So that is DE BitTrade. So the second company that we are developing, so as I said, that company is operational. You could start investing in there right away. You could start buying Bitcoin right away. Bitcoin and Litecoin, right? So the second company is a gold producer, is what we created. Okay, so we can't go into the name and all of that as yet because it's still a little bit confidential because everything isn't developed as yet for this company. But yes, it's going to be a gold producer. We'd be partnering with mines in Africa, and so we'd be sourcing the gold from Africa and other countries too, and then we'd be selling the gold here in Canada. At some points too, we'd be holding on to some of that gold and really developing a gold producing company here in Canada, in Vancouver. And the intention is to really have a publicly traded company here in Canada, a gold producing company. So if you know anything about Vancouver, Canada, you know there are no short of hundreds to probably thousands of gold producing companies, right? What would be the difference with our company? The difference to our company would be we would be very transparent, and you could get into at a very early stage, right, in this process. So we're going to get into that at the back end as to how you would be able to get into any of these three companies, invest into any of these as we go on, right? So the third company is a lead generating company. So it might not be familiar to very much people what a lead generating company is, but basically, simply put, it's more of a technology type company that help other companies, other businesses get leads, get clients. Okay? So this company is actually operational already. This company is called Pacific B2B Block, and our company is partnered with a bigger company in India called Datos Markets. Okay, and so our target clients are companies that do B2B work, right? We would go out and find leads for them. Okay, so that is the third company. So as we are still developing these companies and we are in quarantine, um, we cannot really discuss our revenue at this time, and we are not accepting any investments at this time. Okay, so right now we are not taking any investments on any of the companies, right? Um, the companies are taking clients that are operational. For example, DE Bid Trade is taking clients right now. Pacific B2B is taking clients right now, right? But as a venture capital company accepting investments on behalf of these companies, no, we are not doing that right now. So we're going to explain the strategy on what we are looking to do. Okay, so how we will do the strategy going forward is every company will be separated in the investment. So before we had funds, two funds, they were supporting these companies, right? So we are not doing funds now. So it's a different strategy. Our venture capital company is going to be in a different category from how it was before with the Securities Commission, right? Um, so how we are going to be now is when each company is at a stage where it's looking for investments, then we would go out and seek for investments on behalf of each company. Okay, so therefore, then it would be at different times in the year for each company. Okay, or even if it's probably even in different years. So probably some companies we might be looking for money next year or 2 years out. Who knows, right? But um, what we will look to do with these companies, we ourselves will fund the seed capital in all three companies, right? We do the seed capital and the pre-seed money, right? All the planning and the research work, we would use our own resources for that. Okay, we would only be looking for investments in the Series A round, right? Series A, Series B, and so forth as it goes. Okay, and as I said before in the start, these things are all based on the restrictions we have right now. Okay, so like I said, DE Bid Trade is already operational, and Pacific B2B is already operational. But because of the quarantine restrictions, we cannot work as usual, right? We can't develop the company as we'd like to, right? We have one employee for Pacific B2B right now. We had to go back and say to her, hey, sorry, um, you can't work right now because of the restrictions. Sorry, we would have to get back onto you when the restrictions are lifted. So we can't generate business, right? Also, too, with DE Bid Trade, we are trying to because most of the businesses is online. We could still do some work, so it's day to day. So there's a possibility that we'd have another video um, before the third quarter, and in that other video we could explain the progress as we develop in these companies, and we'd explain more about these companies. Probably we could even talk more about the gold producing company name and all of that as we have as we develop it more, right? So look forward to that. But we are very happy. We are very happy that we are back developing our companies again, and we want to thank all our investors out there, right? Because as I said, in 3 years, we helped raise $54 million. Thanks to our investors, limited partners. We thank you so much, right? And all the other stakeholders that have been with us for now it's been 10 years. 10 years. DE Asset Management has been around since 2010. Okay, at that time I was a young guy. Right? So, anyways, I want to thank everyone out there. This has been Daryl Emmanuel for DE Asset Management. Thank you. Stay safe. Stay in your quarantine positions, please, for the COVID-19 situation. Okay? All right. Have a good day. Thanks again.